Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Jaguars going up against the Texans.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. They go play action here on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's brought down after a good gain. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. So the offense has it 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Normally when I talk about DeAndre Hopkins, I'm talking about accomplishments. In this case, I'm remembering that he lost nearly 600 yards in receiving from 2015. He had less than 1,000 last year.
Yeah, and his touchdowns dropped from 11 to 4, so now he's hoping for more consistent quarterback play. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. Leckler now on as he'll punt this away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Hearns a man in motion right. There it is, the first NFL carry for Leonard Fournette. Oh, and now he bowls him over. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jags have taken the early lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. For the Houston Texans as they make their way onto the field, another season for them that begins with a lot of optimism. They coming off a second straight AFC South title, finishing 9-7 3 straight years. Maybe they're hoping this year that 10 wins is a minimum for them.
10 wins and beyond, because they've got the defense to take them all the way to the Super Bowl. Number 1 in the NFL last year. Get J.J. Watt back. They drafted Deshaun Watson.
Lamar Miller, the 30, 10, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, 74 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And it's up and good. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Jags getting ready to set up shop on offense. And, Charles, it's a question with them that I feel like we've asked many times before. Is this the year you think that they turn it around? They enter 2017 having missed the playoffs for a 9th consecutive year.
And until Jacksonville answers that question affirmatively with a playoff run and a playoff appearance, we keep asking that question, and rightfully so. Look, they've had excellent drafts over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, most of that on defense. This year, they tried to hit it on offense to try and help out their young quarterback, Blake Bortles. They went with Leonard Fournette, the big runner out of LSU. Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. They want to control the ball a little bit more, and they think if they can do that, play better on offense, they can make a run in the AFC South.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That was well coached and even better executed, because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
And that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. On first down, it's Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And from down in Miami, an update. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. To throw on second is Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to, and I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. On second down, here's Fournette. And some space here. Room to run inside the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. Making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Lambeau on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go! Flex round! Flex round!
Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
On second down, here's Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Reminder that later tonight we'll see the Giants and Cowboys battle in Dallas. Seems like they're always playing in week 1. And then on Monday night, a doubleheader. Adrian Peterson, his first game with the Saints. He's already back in Minnesota to play the Vikings. And then a 10-20 start on the East Coast. It's the first game for the L.A. Chargers traveling to Denver.
A nice AFC West matchup.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. This is Ivory. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 47 yards on the ground.
You got him. You got him. Got him. Here we go now.
Bortles now on first down. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
When you surrender 24 turnovers in a season, 16 interceptions, 8 fumbles lost, Blake Bortles, you do hire a quarterback guru to try and get you right, don't you?
And that's what he did. Has to limit those. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. Now with his 3rd touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing again is Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Jacksonville made plenty of changes in their coaching staff in the offseason, but they kept the defensive staff mainly intact. They're going to need a better payoff. They only had 7 interceptions as a group last year.
Good to get the interception there. They want plenty more of those because, as you said, a lot of cash invested on that side of the ball.
A lot of talent. They're ready to roll.
To throw is Bortles. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
In motion, the tight end. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And here comes the Texans now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's Watson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Fournette, a first down carry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. They'll run it again with Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Bortles. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Texans on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue. Able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 58 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
Immediate dividends from their #1 pick, Charles. They expect, obviously, big things from him.
And he's already starting to deliver. But here's the question I've got for you. Who gets the first football? Because, you know, when you score your first touchdown in the NFL, they give you the ball, right?
Right.
Who's going to get it? Does it go to mom, grandma, wife, girlfriend? Where does it go? High school coach? Who gets it?
Why isn't he putting that in his own trophy case?
Well, that would be a little bit selfish now, wouldn't it? What about all the people that helped him get there?
Well, what are you going to do, cut it up in 30 pieces?
Good point. He gets to keep it.
Flex round! Flex round! Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
On first down, Watson. And he's got it over the middle, Fedorowicz. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Paul Posluszny. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And that goes for a gain of 31. On first down, Bortles. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. This is 1st and goal, and the Jags last year just 8 rushing touchdowns. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Hopkins, strong running. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. A nice little juke. And now running right through him. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Bortles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
Lamar Miller, the 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans cut into that lead. Well, he just bumped up his personal stats with a second score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today because of what you just said. They're still down on the scoreboard. But later in the year, when he piles it all up and starts to think about contract time, that's a pretty good deal for him. And I know darn well that you've got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't. You always think that. I just appreciate that you think I'm smart enough to have him in fantasy.
Well, you are.
Thanks.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And an alley to run. A big third down play there for the Jags. 45 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
That's complete, right around the 8. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll toss it to Fournette. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
Now Leonard Fournette, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there, taking it in from a yard out. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now out comes Houston. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. To throw is Watson. Looking to throw on second down. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. And now a first down following that long gain. From the 50, it's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Here we go. 190.
On second and 10, Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. A first down carry now for Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. Again, it's Fournette. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft one deep left, looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Calais Campbell in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A handoff to Fournette. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Fournette, a first down, still going. And now off to the races down the right right side. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. 53 yards. And the Jaguars are pouring it on.
That's 6, baby. Got it all day up here. Got it all day.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the Texans set to come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Here we go.
Now the backup Savage. Eluding the pressure right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's got Miller. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He was looking there for Bruce Ellington, and it's second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And back to the air. Savage on second down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And some room to work. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Savage on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Calais Campbell able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. A play fake to Miller. Now Savage. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. The Texans on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 16. Savage from the shotgun snap. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got room. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. He also had an interception return for a touchdown last year, another one there. What's the goal for a defensive back? One a season?
One a season is really
fantastic.
Way more than you would expect. I mean, guys set those types of goals, but rarely are they reached. Rarely are they achieved. To be able to pull it off back-to-back seasons, who says no one makes house calls anymore?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Savage now. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marcel Darius in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
All right, here we go.
On second down, here's Savage. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fuller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Third and long. It's Savage. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The pitch to Fournette. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go now. 3, 9, Z.
Fournette on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Fournette on the toss to the right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Brad Nortman now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Brad Nortman now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. And tough starting field position here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Over the middle, complete. That's Fuller. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Texans on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 8. Here is Savage setting up the screen for Miller. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. On 1st down, Savage. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's a give to Fournette, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. A little juke. Open space inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. They are in the 4th in Buffalo, and it was the Jets that came away victorious there. Josh McCown, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Jags, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Houston, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.